Alrighty, so can you tell us a little bit about your journey through domestic abuse?
I didn't realize that it was domestic abuse. I wasn't familiar with, since I was a child, I didn't realize until I started this ministry or with the study, I didn't realize that I went through abuse from a child. So when I had recently, when I was married for 12 years. All I knew was to work on the marriage. I did notice throughout the marriage that I just felt like I was always wrong. I was always trying to fulfill something in the marriage. And through the marriage, what started to open my eyes is one day I wanted to leave. And the day that I wanted to leave, I had told the girls to wait for me in the laundry room. And it was like a hallway where you walk through. And so I turned my back on him and I told him that I was leaving. And when I was walking towards the girls, I heard like stomping. Next thing you know, this man is 6'4", 280 pounds. He had tackled me like a man, and I wrapped around the door frame. And I didn't realize that I had damage to my spine. I know that I crawled out of that. Crawled on, from the floor I crawled. And the girls were yelling, and I said, let's just go. I picked myself up, and we stayed at a motel for that weekend. And even through that process, I still believed to continue to work on the marriage. One day, there was other times where I was reaching into the refrigerator and he had slammed the door on my face and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you." I believed that it was an accident. And so through the process, to help with what I was battling, I was in my room and I was watching some YouTube videos on motivationals, just trying to see maybe what was wrong with me, what I could do to help the marriage, what I could do to secure myself and change my mind thinking, because I always thought everything's me. Everything that is wrong is my fault. Next thing you know, and I know it was God, it was a YouTube of narcissism. And I didn't know what it was, but I felt like I needed to watch it. So when I started watching it, that's when the light turned on. And I realized that I was with a narcissist. I realized through 12 years of mental abuse that it wasn't my fault. And to this day, I'm still healing from that. But so much that I thought that I was so inadequate, that I just wasn't enough as a person, or to even fulfill a marriage, or even as a mom, a friend. Once I watched that video, it changed the way I viewed things. It changed how I seen the marriage. And I would wonder, why do I have so many people that are drawn to me, that love me, that tell me I'm such a beautiful person inside and out, but yet there's one person that I never felt love. It was always cold. And even though I tried my best to change who I was, it was just never there. That it was just never there. So throughout the years that I was thinking about leaving, I was terrified. I was scared to leave because I'm 46. I didn't know if I could do it again. I have my own business. I was paying my own bills. It was like God was already transforming me to be independent again. But for some reason, I was still terrified to leave. I was afraid to do it on my own. And I don't know how many times I got on my knees begging God and asking Him, I want to take this step out of this marriage. It caused me to have anxiety and caused me to go to the hospital. I got so spiritually attacked that I had the worst anxiety attack. For 2 weeks, I only slept 4 hours. I was afraid to fall asleep. And I have a best friend of mine that she's in the ministry. She even came over to pray over me. But because I was in high stress, nothing was really working. Prayer was working. It was in the process. But I ended up in the hospital. And I remember I told him, could you please pray for me? And he's like, no. He goes, you just need to go to sleep. And it just kept opening my eyes to seeing, you need to leave. So I ended up staying with my mom, and she took me to the hospital. And the hospital had given me some medication just to calm my nerves. And I knew I needed to leave. I didn't realize the damage of being with the narcissist caused me. So, there's another lady that she has a cleaning business too. So my best friend from the ministry gave me her number, and I talked to her, and she was so loving and welcoming. And then she told me to get a hold of you. And it changed me forever. This ministry, I've been in and out of church for years and years and years. But when you have somebody that can take time to listen, is not judging you, doesn't even look at you any kind of way, but allows God just to minister. You know, when you go to church, you hear the word, you hear your pastor, but there's nothing like a personal experience. I didn't have to pay. I couldn't have, even if I had to. This is a gift that God has blessed me with, to have this opportunity. It changed my life. It will change the life of my daughters, because it changed my life. I'm a new person. And to be able to have the opportunity to understand, and for God to show you through this, just little, like through the chapters, these little bits and pieces that you didn't realize as, you know, as a person, as a child, all these experiences that you experience in your life, you don't realize that that is trauma. You don't realize the damage. You know, it's just, it's so eye-opening. But yet now that, with the knowledge, because with this, it gets in detail with the Bible. Instead of just reading the Bible at church and this and that, this book had me look into the scriptures, to read it on my own pace, at my own time. And it's just as much alive as it is the Bible. And you can't put it down. Like, I almost got anxiety knowing that, you know, the session's over. But now I'm able to share it. Now I'm able to share my testimony with other women. And they can see the healing. They can see the process. And you were just that open vessel. You were willing for God to use you. And it wasn't even you. It's what you allowed Him to use through you. You were just a vessel that's just transforming women to be able to continue to transform other women. I'm not a victim anymore. And even to this day, when I see some of the trauma I have this book that I can go back to, my notes. I just can't explain how different it is. Church is good. We learn differently from church, but this is an experience that's life-changing. And I pray that many women have the opportunity like I did. And it's all God's timing. And it's an unfortunate events that we go through in life. But the healing, it's worth it. The knowledge, it's life-changing forever. It doesn't leave you.
So can you turn to that last chapter, in the very last page?
Hopefully I can still read my handwriting.
And read what you wrote on our last day together.
The Bible study changed my life, my thoughts, and my heart. I have been able to dive deeper into the Word and allow this Bible study to change my heart. I still have a ways to go, but it redirected me on a solid path that you just can't turn from. The healing and understanding on how deep the Bible truly is mind-blowing. There is so much in just the two. There's so much in the two palms of your hands. The Bible's alive, and there is so much to learn from, even if you read it 40 times over again. You will continue to learn more and more, knowing the love and the sacrifice that was paid for me, to share the love and the mercy as well as grace that was given to me, so everyone else can know it was paid in full for them too. It needs to pour out of me through the Spirit, so many that cross my path can be set free. As well know the love that was paid for us. The true love. So many need to know the truth.
Amen. So we are going to be playing parts of this video for people who are considering possibly donating towards building the Tiny House Village. And when it comes to them knowing exactly what is provided through this ministry, can you tell them what all you've received? I mean, everything from, furniture for your house to the Christmas, to just what the Lord did in your life through this ministry.
I had to leave, and I left with only clothes and my vehicle and my TV. That's all I had. And through the process of finding a place, I asked God just to open the door to where I needed to be. That's all I had. You bought me new beds for me and my daughters. They weren't used, they were brand new. You got me a couch. You got me decor.
Can you start over, but do it they? Not me.
Okay.
It's the ministry, not me.
That's so sensitive to me. But they had blessed me with beds for me and my daughter, brand new beds. They have given us new clothes. They have given us a couch, groceries, and on Christmas, we had brand new gifts that we were blessed with. I didn't even have to buy Christmas. I even received a Christmas tree. And for them to give us new things, it's a whole nother feeling. Not that used things are bad, but it's just the effort behind it, the way that it makes you feel whenever you're trying to come back up and start all over, and to receive brand new things, it just makes you feel better. It's very refreshing, motivating, and it inspires you. It really does. Not that I would be ungrateful with anything used, but to have brand new things, it's just a whole nother feeling.
So, if anyone, so think about the people that are going to be at the gala. What would you want them to know about Healing Through Him Ministries?
It's life-changing. And I think sometimes if somebody thinks that maybe it's just not enough, or I don't know what anybody can think, but it is life-changing. The one-on-ones, the non-judgment, the support, the love, to be able to bless like the way I was blessed, and nobody questioned me, nobody made me feel awkward or ashamed, and to be able to learn from the root what we were dealing with, what we deal with, what has happened in our life that we didn't even realize, but this brings it out. It exposes everything in such a positive way that changes you. You never look at life the same. You see it in a positive perspective with strength, dignity, because you know what Jesus did for you. Nobody can offer that. And just a simple book that dives deep into the Word. You'll never look at life again. I mean, you'll never look at life the same again. It has given me a confidence. I thought I had confidence as a woman, but now, even if things cross my path now, I'm like, I'm a daughter of a king, of a God. You can't come back from this. You step into the world with boldness and confidence. And you're not a victim anymore. And trauma's not even part of your life. You can't live like that. You can't live like a victim anymore after reading this book. It's life-changing.
Amen. Me walking through it is what made me want everybody else to walk through it. Because it changed my life too.
But the knowledge is just completely different than, church is good. Being ministered through churches. The way that God put this together and through who made this, or however it happened, it was made to get into the root of women like me.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.